Hi. I don't know who's here, but I have a lot of noise around me, so hang on a second. I need to shut my AC. Okay, there's nobody here. You guys wanted me to come live, and here I am, and there's nobody here. Oh, hang on a second. Let me just go shut the AC thingy. Okay, right back. Hi. Okay, so I washed my hair today, so I just threw it in a hat. I invited John and Xavier to come on if they want to come on with me, but I don't know. I didn't really pay attention to the interview. I don't even remember what I said in it, to be honest with you. All right, let me put on some glasses so I can read what's going on in here. Is Brent still on unemployment? But who knows? Who knows what's going on? No, it isn't really live. We're not supposed to even be live. So I was upstairs. I was watching the basketball game and doing the chat at the same time. And then it was over. Brent and I actually talked for about an hour 15 or something, but we get into the weeds. We were talking about, stupid stuff like what kind of news we listen to and things like that. But what I really want to do, if Johnny is around, is I wanted to do another interview with him where we really talk about the minutia. I really want to get into like a whole conversation about the stupid stuff, because I was so excited to hear about the ridiculousness of having like 8 or 10 people doing PR and another like 8 people or so that do the guest bookings, as if, what are we talking about? Like maybe 30 guests a year or something like that. So so I just want to talk about that a little bit. And yeah, okay, I don't know what Chuck kind of trying to say. Was he fired or not? We discussed this already, and he will always say no, but I will always say yes. I maintain that he was fired. I maintain that some shenanigans were afoot in California, and I maintain that they found out about it, and it caused a lot of really bad blood between him and the rest of the crew, and I think that's why he left. I mean, there's no way. Nobody ever leaves a job when they don't have a job. You just don't. I've told every single person who's ever worked for me, just don't quit. Wait until you have another job, stupid. You'll never get as much money as you will when you have a job, as opposed to being fired or whatever. I do believe that he has an NDA, and I think he has an NDA related to talking about Howard. I don't know about the rest of the crew. I know Scott Salem definitely has an NDA and won't talk about anything that we ever ask him. So who knows? All right, let me read a little bit of here. Hold on, I gotta put my readers on. Wait, hold on, I gotta clean them first. Give me a second. Okay, let's see. Okay. What kind of broad watches basketball? Because I was sitting on my iPad doing this review stuff, so it's kind of like golf. It was just in the background. Jesus Christ. Yes, I do, Gina. Absolutely least efficient, and nothing makes me happier than for them to go away. I think they wanted. Hold on. I think they wanted him gone and gave him a shitty deal. I think any deal they would have given him. He wasn't a long-term employee like so many of the other people that are there that have been there like 20, 25 years, 30 years or something like that. So he wouldn't get the same deal. I think Scott got a good deal. Mo, can you post the unedited interview, please? That edit was brain frying rapid. Listen, Bond did that because I'm telling you, Brent and I got into like the weeds a little bit, and the Brent can go like, very esoteric, very out of the thing that we're talking about, and Bond had to just kind of, bring it back home and bring it in. So I'm almost promising you didn't miss anything, even though I didn't really listen to the edited version right there. Who on staff was arrested for domestic violence? What, Anthony? What? What are we talking about? Oh. Should I ask someone? Is this like something that you know the answer as you're asking the question? I'm just not sure. You should make a swinging cruise. Yeah, no kidding. Can you please refer to Bort as the bald asshole going forward? So can one of you tell me, and I know we may have talked about this before. Love the name Duke Atreides, by the way. Can you tell me why we call him Bort, please? Final Four, you better be watching. Yeah, of course, Kyra. Thank you. I know. That's what I'm trying to do. Bun is a great egg. Bun is amazing. And I told you that the build up to it was going to be better than the interview. Hold on, I'm trying to see if the boys actually want to come on with me or not. I'm going to go with no. And yeah, my throat is still killing me. You have no idea. I'm so sick. It's allergies and it's horrible. Scott did get a good deal, and Scott lawyered up before he was let go, and he negotiated a great deal with them, and I was glad that he did. So yeah, all was good there. No, Brent. So we got into this wormhole and started talking about. I don't know if it was in this interview, but we started talking about what's the guy's name on Fox News that he loves, Tucker Carlson, and how he's really not that person, whatever, and about BBC News and NPR and shit like that. And so I'm telling you, it's nothing of any note. I promise you. Hansy mentioned a couple of times someone on staff was arrested for domestic violence. I don't know. Let's make a guess. I have absolutely no idea. I don't know. I would think, I don't know anybody. I mean, they're all such benign tumors. I can't even imagine any of them are like, on the anger spectrum of things. No clue. Brent gets pissed when people call him wrong name, Brett, etc. Okay, but nobody gave me the Bort answer. I don't really know. Yeah, that's true. Hansy does say a lot of things. I don't have tuberculosis. I have horrific allergies. I didn't know until maybe about 3 weeks ago that I have really bad allergies, and I tend to not take my Claritin 12-hour until I'm about to go to sleep because regardless of what it says, it makes me a little drowsy. So I just suck on these Manuka honey with ginger drops, which are exorbitantly expensive. It's like $14.99 for like a little box of them, but they help. That's all I got. Hansy reads. I haven't followed Hansy in a long time. I do have the master of the interview that we did with him, so I'm looking forward to putting that back up in a little while. At some point, we'll do that. Yes, Chaka. See, it's so bad for me. They say women's physiology changes every 7 years, and so I was allergic to like mango, honeydew, and cantaloupe. Ridiculous for years and years and years, and just one day it just kind of went away, and that was it. And now apparently I'm highly allergic to oak trees, and so yeah, that's what I got. Bald asshole is now taking a 19-year-old to court because he thinks he's the orchestrator of a mass stalking campaign against him. So we're talking about Brent here is taking a 19-year-old to court. Listen, I've had my share of trolls and people that hate me and whatever, but unless you're physically coming after me or my family, I don't even really care. I think it's a complete waste of everybody's time and money to do shit like that. Let's see. Where can we listen to the show of you interviewing Brent? I think you're talking about Tucker Carlson. Yes, I am talking about Tucker Carlson. We just finished the interview with Bort, with Brent, and that's why I came on live. We just finished the interview, so it's on prior to this. So you'll see it there, I guess. Whatever. Yeah, Hansy's totally mentally ill. But you know what? I feel bad for him in a lot of ways. Like, he knows that he's mentally ill. Like, he's the first one to admit it. And I feel bad for his inability to be anything more than what he is. He will always be that guy. They call him Bort because he's wicked bald and looks like... Okay, I still don't understand what you're saying, Car. Green tea. Yeah, I should do that. As long as it doesn't have caffeine in it. I can only drink one thing of caffeine per day or else I'll never go to sleep. Can we talk about Artie for a second? Any word from him? Anybody? I've reached out to everybody I know and I have asked about Artie and nobody knows anything. Nobody knows anything. I'm talking about people that are like super close to him. Nobody knows anything. Yeah, okay. Did he say what other staff members were in his group when they called the meeting about the release of the tape besides Shuley? He did not, but he said there was good 20 or 30 of them, which means there was probably like the core group of people. And I can imagine what a douchebag Gary was at that meeting. You know, we have to snicker about it because I love that people are still trying to guess where the video came from and who released it and stuff like that. So it just kind of amuses me, and I love the way they place blame, and I love the way they think that they know what they're talking about, and that Brent would take offense to somebody asking whether or not it was him. I find kind of amusing. Like, who would even care? All right, let's go. Brent is taking a 19-year-old to court. The kid took a photo of the Secrets parking lot. Help me. Was that when what's-his-face was out there selling meat? What is that? I didn't know Hansy had a podcast. Thank you, Greenpoint. I'm going there at some point in the near future, by the way. I will go and I will eat a slice of pizza at Carmine's on Graham Avenue, and then I will go across the street and I will eat a slice of pizza at Tony's Pizzeria, which is my absolute favorite. And then I will go visit Mrs. Falabella over at PS 132 because she is 86 years old, 87 years old, and she still works at the school. Oh, look who's here. Look who came for a little visit. Hello, darling.
Hi.
Oh, so weird. You're not in my ears. Hang on a second. I have to switch my mic out.
It's gotten so good.
What?
There's a bit of Brent there.
It was a process.
How great was Brent? I mean, I came on, I knew there was going to be some comments and questions, and
okay, so let's talk about that for a quick second. So
Yeah,
what did we miss
clearly-
out on? Because I know you cut it down by like half.
yeah, you exclaimed like, "Oh my God, it's over!" And I was like, "Yeah, he didn't. There wasn't anything else going on. Like
Right, that's
he
what I
talked
said.
about.
It was like some bullshit about
you're right.
news and
Oh
Tucker
yeah, you
Carlson
talked
and stuff
about
like that.
you got into a political thing for 10 minutes. Then you definitely talked about Brent's close personal friend Tucker Carlson, which I'm like, how the hell does he?
Because Tucker Carlson
love
used to be on Bubba all the time. Tucker was a huge fan of Bubba's.
Oh, this
and
is
when
correct.
Tucker
That
was
makes
based out of
sense to
Florida,
me.
he used to talk to him all the time. So
And yeah, the zooming in was I might chill out. I might chill out with that a bit, but some of the
Johnny.
part times I had to.
Johnny, I just
Yes.
sent you an email if you want to pop on for a minute. We're really not staying on that long, so if you want to pop on for
Wait,
like
I
15,
want to
20
talk
minutes,
for
come on.
4 hours.
Oh God, no. No.
Let me talk about the zooming. I had to zoom in. Brent actually disconnected in the interview for like 5 minutes. So
Oh, right, I forgot about that.
His face was frozen very comically. And Monique's, all of this stuff, things were happening. So a few times, if I zoomed in on Monique a few times, and if I'd made it full screen, Brent's face would have been frozen for like a few seconds before she said, okay, you're frozen again. And then there's this long... So there was a bit of that, but I think the zoom... Maybe I could pull back on that a little.
No.
Pardon the
Everybody
pun.
appreciated it. It was at one point you went so close in on Brent, it was almost disturbing.
Oh, the
Not
best
gonna
was
lie.
when your joy you tricked him into talking about Shuley. That was a trap. And then when he did, you completely destroyed him. I zoomed in on you for that, your recognition of that awful Shuley meet and greet in the car park that no one turned up to. You immediately remembered, like Brent says, I just went and saw Shuley like a couple of months ago, and you go, oh, was it that terrible day? And I zoomed in on him and you, and he starts shaking his head like, I don't want to get into the meet and greet. Yeah, there was no one there. He's like shaking his head going, I don't want to I'm talking about the show at the night. I'm talking about the show. And it was great. And then you're going, really? And it was so entertaining. And I mean, I just don't, I have to ask you, when you said what happened with Shuley and the Miserable Men, were you thinking like I was that they don't do that show anymore?
I completely thought that they did not do the show anymore.
Oh, beautiful. Because when you did, I was like, that show's dead, isn't it? Everybody hated that show.
That it's so outrageous and so crazy that's the reason it's only on Patreon, because they can't put it on like any real channels because it's just so
Exactly.
outrageous.
It's gotten so good.
I loved it when he was saying that. I was like, it's gotten so good. Okay, so I watched the last episode of The Miserable Men the other day that they allowed to be free, and that was 5 months ago. And that wasn't so good. I just want you to know.
Well, let me see how much the Patreon is for Miserable.
So I don't know, maybe in the last month the show has gotten, so I'll give him the benefit of the doubt, but the show I watched from 5 months ago, which was free, not so good. That's all I'm going to say about that. But
Okay, let's see how much it is.
I think the
to
first
access
tier is $7.
$5 for. Does it not show us how many people are on the Patreon?
Oh, of course not. They all turned that off when we were laughing at Shuley when he started his podcast. He worked out how to turn that off real quick.
And then we have the $10 level, which accesses commercial-free and live shows, as well as archive shows, Sunday bonus show, and video of everyone getting ready before we go live. Oh, that's got to be...
Oh, that's true, yeah.
Okay, here. Mo, Patreon only shows you the monthly income. Hold on, let me see. Melvin. Patreon only shows you the monthly income for a show if you are a son to that artist. I don't know what that
What does that mean? I mean, thanks nerds, as John would say. I don't know
Okay,
what.
Sketchy Press always knows. They claim it's not on YouTube, but that's exactly how they stream. They post an unlisted link from YouTube on Patreon. Anyone with the link can access to stream and replay. See? So I'm sure that we can get you access to that. I can't imagine why you would want it, but I can't imagine why you would want that.
Isn't his interview techniques are classic? Like, he's got that Sam Simon story ready. That's ready to go if anyone talks about anything with money, because he went into that when you were talking about the money Howard has and whinging about looking after his parents. He's ready to go into that. I got a story about Sam Simon. The way he goes straight into it, it's like this roving reporter. I've got the scoop. I've got the scoop that I need to tell. It's all Bubba, isn't it? That voice.
It's very
right?
Bubba. It's very like Bubba always reminds me of a wrestler. Like I don't
Love you, John.
like that kind of voice, that cadence.
I know,
that kind
it's
of
like we're selling for 100, we're selling for 200, we got 300, we got 300 here, 400. It's like it's a used car salesman. You know, the kind of guy who comes up to you like in the 70s in New York City, which I'm thinking circa, like you'd be walking down an alley and a guy would walk up to you in a leather jacket and go, look at this, I got these watches. Do you want to buy any of these watches? And
cute.
he's
We
got
don't
all
have
the
any-
watches
we don't
hanging
have
in
any
the
Allie's
jacket.
number one. We don't have alleys.
In New York, are you kidding me?
We don't have alleys.
No, you must have alleys. What
don't
about
have alleys.
Batman? The original
Yeah,
Batman
I
with
know,
Michael
it's all
Keaton, that was
dirty
kind
and
of set in a
grimy,
New
and
York
I
City,
agree, but-
and they went down the side street.
No,
That's
there's
where
no
all the
si-
problems started
no, there's
with
no
the Joker.
alleys. There's no alleys in New York City. You know where
We've got to
there's
get
alleys?
John on because he could help
Chicago.
us out with this straight away. What are we hearing? Here we go. Here's John.
Chicago is where they have alleys, and the reason they have alleys is because they planned out their city better than we did and learned from our mistakes and used alleys for garbage pickup, and we don't have that.
It's a classic This is a classic example of where you stomped on my punchline. I'm talking about a
Oh, was there
guy
a punchline
in the
there?
alley. Yeah, I didn't even. I'm saying it, and you're
You talking
just
about
going.
selling watches in the alley?
Yeah, he's like a used watch salesman who comes out and goes, hey, you need to buy a watch. Have a look at this, and he opens his jacket and they're all hanging from the inside of the jacket. And you just went. All you were saying while I started that was, "There's no alleys in New York. There's no alleys in New York. There's no alleys." And I'm going, opening the jacket, and
alleys
you're
in
going,
New
"There's no
York.
alleys in New York."
There's no alleys in New
I'm
York.
not going to
There's
stop
no
until I
alleys.
reiterate this point. Unbelievable, John. Come on and fix this. But that's what he sounds like. It's weird. Do the other guys who are on Bubba's show all talk like that as well? It's all okay. Here we go.
We interviewed the other guy that was on that show, Manson, and I can't remember what his voice sounded like. I think we have that interview up somewhere, but I
We
don't
do.
know.
I don't think it sounded like that. Yeah,
I think
he
only
sounded
Brent
different.
and Bubba are the ones who sound like that. And there was another guy on there who kind of sounds like them as well. Hold on, let me get rid of this. Yeah, I don't really know. I've never once listened to the Bubba show. I must admit. It was never
I've
really
seen
something.
like 5-minute bits of it, and it's a zoo. It's there's a girl
I
on there
know,
as well, and they're
Chaka.
just going off.
I was trying not to say anything about that. It's
Really hard for me to do an American accent. I can just
a
do
New
it
York
if
accent is even worse.
Yeah, that's why I'm putting on that. I can do the Texas one because it's so Texas. Okay, we got this guy. We got a rodeo. We're rocking on a rodeo. We're selling a horse. Does anybody want to buy a horse? I got a bid of $5,000. That's the best I can do.
God.
I'm not happy about it. I wish John was here because he could do. If John, you're still in there in the chat, some outstanding comments from John on that
Yes, agreed.
interview playback, and I might do the enhanced chat replay of that interview because there was some hilarious stuff coming through from everybody.
See, Chicago alleys are for garbage. We don't have our garbage out on the curb. See, I didn't know.
So there are. Okay. Chicago has a lot of alleys. Yeah. Why wouldn't you put a lot of alleys in New York then? If you
They
were.
didn't plan it out correctly. Did you not watch The Gilded Age? I mean, we planned out the
No,
city.
I didn't. What does that mean? The Gilded Age? Is that what you said? Is it like some?
It's on HBO Max. It's phenomenal. It's a
Is it as
great
good-
same time. The Gilded Age is about kind of when the Vanderbilts and the titans of industry and the railroad titans were building New York, the Carnegies, the Astors, and how they considered themselves old money, and anybody who came along after that was considered new money, even though it was like the late 1800s. And they all built these like monstrous houses on Fifth Avenue and on Park Avenue South, Central Park West, and stuff like that. And it's
Or
just,
blah, blah, blah.
Yes, exactly. That's exactly what it is. I don't even know where the fuck I was going with this. In
Sorry
any
about
case,
that.
they didn't plan it
Loved
out.
it.
They didn't plan it out like Chicago, and it's just a shithole. That's
You
all.
went into a full vortex then.
I
You
always
could
do.
do a podcast about New York estates,
Hmm?
like dwellings, city livings. You could do a historical podcast on New York City.
Well,
like that. You know so much. Like you can, like old podcasts. People talk about the Rainbow Room, and John asked you, "Tell us about the Rainbow Room." You went into a 5-minute dissertation on the Rainbow Room that I had to trim down to like 30 seconds. But you know so much, it's scary. Seriously.
That's because I've been to most of these places. I mean, I've lived in the city my entire life, and and then if something interests me, I love stories about old New York. I love the history of that city.
Let's
I
get a
truly
show up. I mean, you've had your cooking show, now you've had your scary show, now you could have that.
Yeah, but you know what? There's so many shows like that it's not really for me. See, Chaka Khan is right. Mrs. O'Leary's cow burned it down, Chicago, so they got to rebuild it. That's true.
How did the cow have access to like matches or power, like fire making equipment? What is this stuff?
Yeah, Ida, definitely I'm going to plan that, just so you know. I am going to do a Gilded Age tour.
Oh my god.
I think it'll be so much fun for us to do that. And I have a wedding to go to in October, and it's up in Newport. And so my plan is to go up there a day early and do a whole tour of all the
Holy
Newport
shit.
mansions as well. I think
Oh
that'll
my
be-
god. See, I'm right. I was spot on. Right?
Right?
Hey Johnny, I'm curious. How many hours was your deputing that you just taped tonight? Just
He said
curious.
5 hours.
5 hours. That's coming off of a 7-hour show.
He's not telling the truth about that.
He's just
They're
not
not
right in the
taping
head,
it
that
in
boy.
one go.
Yes, they are. The last show was 7 hours. Did you guys
They
even do a
edit.
peep?
They edit. They take breaks.
Do they really?
They might take days apart to do.
Oh my god, I'm
sections.
definitely going to be in the 25th year deputing for Donnie Brasco. I'm looking forward to that. I showed you pictures of Sonny Black with his daughter that she sent me, right? I have all of that. So
I'm
we
keen to be on the. Am I still invited to the episode
he
where you talk
uninvited
about the pets, Monique, the pets in Australia issue? John invited me a while ago.
The what? Oh, when Johnny tried to import his animals.
Dogs or whatever it was, yeah, cats.
How
or
is
dogs,
that?
Yeah.
How is that even like a conversation?
That was huge. He said they're going to do a whole episode on it. There's all news stories you can see on YouTube from it in Australia. It was like the #1 news story.
For like a minute. What was that? Like a 5-minute thing?
Yeah, but it was hilarious.
Was it news even?
Yeah, because it happened here. It's like
The pet smuggling. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it was hilarious. It was amazing, actually.
Look at how he knows the name of the dogs. Ugh.
Just, of course, he knows the name of the fucking thing. I could do a segment on every show quizzing John about Johnny Depp, and he probably would rarely get any wrong. And listeners would be keen to suicide.
So, Bon, what are you working on in terms of Gunk shows? Because I was telling everybody the other day that I found the motherlode of all the balance of shows that we have ever done. And I know that you were starting to kind of like pick at them a little bit and see which ones interested you in terms of what to do with archived shows for going forward. So what are you working on exactly?
Yay! That's so exciting.
Yeah, I've
I
got
know.
tons of stuff. I've been going through. I've got many weeks in review, and yeah, that motherlode you dropped filled the blank of 2017, 2018. There's so much stuff, and then
I know.
there's at least there's the Mutt interview.
I
there's
definitely want the Mud interview, and if you decide
I'm
you-
working on that. That's a mess. Very strange as some of these podcasts, the sound starts out fine, like you can hear Mutt clearly, and then by an hour in, it's suddenly so low. He's so low in the background that I'm going to have to... I don't understand what happens in these things. But anyway, that's great. And the Tim Sabian interview, which I've done, I think, intense audio cleanup, because you forgot to press a button, apparently.
Yes, it killed
Plug.
me.
You didn't have the plug-in.
I didn't have the plug all the way in.
And that's rough. That does suck a bit because but you can. I've got the sound restoration. You can hear everything he's saying.
Okay.
And then all this other stuff is weeks in review, like tons of weeks in review,
So
and they are just gigantic. Like you did weeks in review for when the dude from Led Zeppelin. I always forget which one it is, Page or Plant, the singer.
I think it was Plant.
Came in, and that was like you did 3 parts on that. It's like 4 hours or something.
All right,
show.
Zuma Dog, I have nothing in my mouth right now. Jesus fuck. I have nothing in my mouth. I'm not sucking on anything. I'm not doing anything. I'm just sitting here. Jesus fuck. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Bon.
No, it's
You know,
fine.
I'm trying to
They really hang in the air when it's only just two of us, don't they?
Is that me?
Who else? Who else could it be?
What the fuck was that from?
That's you freaking out, probably because someone's gone off on a tangent or something. The best is when John goes off on the tangents.
Oh my
And you
God!
get-
You know, he goes off on so many.
How dare you!
I don't know how he talks for as long as he does. I mean, John could really talk pretty much all day. We were thinking, Bon, you weren't on the day that we were thinking about it. That we were thinking about having a marathon gunkathon.
Mhm.
Like just something where we're on air for like, I don't know, 12 hours or something. Well, John could take over in the morning because he's actually up usually until like 3 or 4 in the morning, so we can switch places. And
You could do like a week in review like that, the 3 days in a row, and people keep switching out to take different parts of it or something
yes,
like that.
yes, that's what I want to do. I want to do like a marathon, maybe like Memorial Day weekend or something.
That'd be brutal.
It would be fucking brutal. I can't even imagine.
On you and I, because you need someone around to be able to get back in if there's a disconnection.
You know what? I don't, you know me, I'm really good in the planning stage of something, but the execution is
That's
where I
like
fall
Howard.
completely
Howard
flat.
loves the announcement.
Yeah,
and doesn't
I'm,
wanna
I'm
go
good
through.
with the announcement, and that's all
That's
I'm
the
good with.
problem.
So
Because let's just
I
say,
can't
like,
do it myself.
let's say you go to sleep for a few hours nap, not during this fictional thing that we're talking about. And John's going, and then John disconnects, but he can't get back in on his own. And you know what will happen if John does this? He's going to talk about football. If you're not there, he'll talk about
Basketball.
football for 4 hours.
Basketball.
3
4 hours of
hours with
basketball.
everybody in the chat.
And then he'll go into the deepening. It'll be enough.
Yeah.
And I'll be just sitting here like this, like.
He'll call Sarah and put her on speakerphone, and they'll just do an episode. Hey, they got more subscribers, Radio Gunk. So,
Do they?
no, you've got more subscribers. That's what.
Oh, I
was
thought the
talking from
deepening had
his
more
point of view,
subscribers.
yeah.
They should at this point.
No, that's why
People love
he'd
that
call
shit.
her in. Oh my God, we're breaking down the jokes.
Arm
black
can
guy.
break. I can break down the best starting lineups of the '80s Eastern Conference. Do you even know what that means? All this.
No, it must have been
meandering
days. It
into
must have been gigantic thing.
I can't, John. I can't believe you're still in the friggin' chat and you didn't call in. Like seriously, what is wrong with you? You could call in on your phone. You know, StreamYard takes phone now. You could, I could have called that on my phone too.
I hate kids. I'm not having kids, okay?
So let's get back to Brent. So hindsight is 2020, and there's so many questions. It's hard. He is like a politician. He could actually be a politician. He did some maneuvers around questions that you asked that were actually
this.
very, very impressive. And he didn't mention names in any parts of his incriminating evidence.
Thank you, Matthew. What? He didn't mention any names.
He's really impressive, but you could I would have loved something just like what is Marcy like? What was she like to talk to? Does she talk to you like
That's
a
why I'm
really
saying I want to do the minutia thing.
management type person?
John loves that shit. John loves knowing about. Yes, Matthew, we have them all. It's just a matter. They're all horrible. Number one, I can't listen to
They're
any of them.
nasty. They're nasty.
They're nasty. Listen to him on Saturday nights. How funny when he said that he's gotten really good at editing clips and stuff like that. Like he's
The porn.
the porn.
Through porn. That's the only reason he's editing.
It's like, do you actually put that on your resume? Like, is that something that you can actually do? More flip-flops than AJ Benz at K-Rock. Yeah, so true. Yeah, I don't know. I want to... Arm and I are going to get together, do like a little bit of detail kind of thing for Brent. And, you know, he said he would come on anytime. So I'm fine with that. Brent is busy being an extra in a gangbang. Yeah, I'm sure that's true. Minimalism is now a cult GTD word to me. Don't estimate the GTD cult effect. Yeah, and I think that he had to back off of that because there was so much shit said online about a man who has 50,000 square feet of real estate complaining about
He's
complaining
trying to
about
be
being a minimalist.
irony there. In the private chat, there's the Brent video, the original.
Oh, okay, I'm going there right now.
Brent Hatley, candidate for St. Petersburg City Council District 3. Wow.
Okay, I got it. Hold on.
What a title.
Let me.
So, yeah, I love the music. The music's the best
I'm
part of
getting
it. The rest of this is.
Okay,
very,
here we go. Hold on, I
okay.
got it. Okay, Brent Hatley. Here we go. All right, ready?
Ladies and gentlemen, my name's Brent Hatley, and I'm running for St. Petersburg City Council, District 3. One of the things I feel strongly about is the rule of law. John Adams said it best. This is a government of laws and not of men. And the great Dr. Martin Luther King said, darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. And that's what I'm a proponent for, is government in the sunshine, full transparency, respect for the law, and respect for your rights. We live in a constitutional republic that demands your participation. Remember to vote November 8th and vote Brent
How
Hatley,
great
City
was that?
Council, District 3.
B-roll footage. Oh,
I'm
shit.
Brent Hatley, and I approve this message.
Oh. So that sound effect was way too loud, and that music all through it was way too loud.
Holy shit! It just completely dominated the entirety of that commercial. I can't believe he ran. That's horrible. Oh my god. Bort chose that look. Yeah, that was his only good suit, and I'm sure he had to wear it to a funeral or something like that. So that's the only reason it's got going there.
It ain't fun.
What was that?
That was Britney Spears
What'd she say?
saying it ain't fun.
Why
With
didn't you
her
just play it again first? Oh, you know what else?
It ain't fun.
You know what else? This, by the way, as you
Cleaning out the computer.
So everybody really wants something similar to that. Can you do one, or we can do it together, or something where we maybe you can say something like, let's go to the calendar, because we have been going to the calendar pretty much every single day now.
To see when Howard is off. Yeah.
To see when Howard is off. I can actually start a 2022 calendar and do a split screen of the two of them so that we can see what kind of days he's been working this year. But if last year's schedule is any indication,
We're going to have to go to monthly introduction videos, I think, for the calendar. So we're going to go to, let's go to the May calendar.
no, you don't do der. It's got to be calendar. Like you did computer. That's
You
what it
better
needs to
record
be.
you saying some as well, because I can't do them all. It's just too...
Well, then you don't have to do. Oh, but that would be even the funniest thing. You could actually just say the words April, May, June, July, and then just splice that in. Every
Yeah, I'll
single
just-
month. It'd be so stupid.
So it's let's go to the calendar April.
Yes.
Can it be calendar?
Yes, it has to be calendar. Also, what's going on with Derp Throat?
That's right there, uploaded, monetized. It's sitting there. Why don't you just make it public tomorrow or whatever?
Okay, that's a great idea. I will do that.
And
Good
Derp Throat for anyone who's wanting to see a long podcast that's only like 30 minutes or something, so it's not long. It's just...
Yes, we will do that. Okay, so what he's talking about is we had done a podcast when somebody from the Howard Stern show didn't want to be revealed as being the person giving me answers to questions that we had for him. So we called it Derp Throat, which was totally stupid, but okay. And and so what I did is I asked the questions, and John was Derp Throat in it. And I can't tell you how many people thought, it's like, who's that sound like? It sounds like Brian Phelan. No, maybe it's Richie Wilson. No, maybe it's this. And it's like, guys, I told you already that it's John. It's like nobody paid attention to.
I remember listen as a listener. I didn't know who it was, but when I picked it out to remake it like a month ago, I listened to like
You slowed
30
it down.
seconds or a minute, and I was pretty sure it was John just from the way he talks. And
cadence
then I
of his
changed
voice,
the
right?
pitch, and I had to know, so I changed the pitch back up, and I was like, "Oh my god, it's John!" And I thought that was brilliant.
Wasn't.
No, it definitely wasn't.
And nobody got it. Nobody figured it out. All right, you know what? I'll put that up tomorrow. I don't think there's anything going on tomorrow that people need to watch. So I will throw that up. Derp Throat. The quickie interview with Marianne from Brooklyn is up, so you guys can listen to that.
We've still got, because so much has been happening, we haven't been able to finish the quarantine episode part 4, which is the finale of the 4-part quarantine series
This
that
is when
I
Howard was in
curated.
such a panic over this disease.
Yes,
that there was
and made
nothing.
that first 4 or 5 weeks, he made that hell for the listeners.
And I think
Just-
that one of the reasons they took it down that one time, hold on, let me see, Beth Stern in hazmat. So they took this one down after we posted this picture of her, which we found absolutely hysterical.
But it's in it. There've been photoshops. It's in the episode that I remade. I had to have that in there.
Okay.
So they
I'm
didn't,
gonna have it
they changed their minds or whatever.
So anyway, they would wash all of their stuff with hydrogen peroxide and vinegar, and then she would dress like this to go outdoors just to pick up mail. And
But that wasn't a true story. She couldn't go out wearing that. If someone recognized her and then realized that she was wearing that, she couldn't be seen like that. She'd rather get COVID but look great when she gets it.
She's
If that
disgusting.
makes-
She's an idiot, and she deserves everything she gets. And she enjoys being a bird in a gilded cage, and it's all good. Whatever.
So we do
mind your
have
bed.
we have the final part 4, which is absolutely
It's ready to go
brilliant. And
too.
it's been up for like in everything. The quarantine episodes are so brilliant because of John. They're some of the funniest episodes ever. Like
They really are, because we were
You
so
guys-
you know
you
what,
had
because
the
we were all on
best in-
lockdown. We were so
Yeah.
ridiculously bored with being home and having nothing to do that these shows were like our savior, and it was just the stupidity of them was so delicious.
Oh, and that content was so funny that Howard was giving you. Like his insanity was incredible. Like all of those clips were so funny. Like him
Where is Jeremy?
saying the best is Beth cleaning the house. That was just incredible. Like that's one of the funniest things he's ever tried to pull on the audience.
Babe,
Unbelievable.
I do not see Derp Throat in my videos. ¿Dónde está?
Oh, it's
amor.
definitely there.
Derp Throat is up, and it is, just went live. It's only 21 minutes and 40 seconds, so a very, very easy listen. How it already has 6 views is beyond me. But yeah, it's ready to go, and you can go listen to it now. So
It was a process.
I am leaving. I have to go walk my puppers, and all right, let's do that. Did you hear us doing like a Zapruder-like dissection of Howard calling the police because a homeless person hocked a loogie at Beth? Did you hear that one?
I've heard that on various shows. Put it that way.
Well, yeah, we made it actually really interesting, and I think that's what's going to be the show when Howard finally goes off air. And actually, the show is getting so horrible, we're going to start doing more of that and less of the show as it stands today. All right, so we are going now, I swear to God, and I'm going to outro us right now. Thanks for hanging with us tonight. Please join us for any discussion at RadioGunk.com in the forum section. Follow us on Instagram or Twitter at Radio Gunk. And don't forget to like this and subscribe to us and hit that little bell so that you know when we're going to have a new show. Thanks.